Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be playing around with a silk screen and rubber stamp. Now I have some black and red Primo clay that I had scrap left over, and all I did was take the two, mush them together like this, and then I ran them through my pasta machine until I got this beautiful mix. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is take your rubber stamp. This is the rose rubber stamp, and I absolutely love this. I think it is beautiful. Just set it down onto your clay. We're going to get a nice impression on here. So press pretty hard when you're doing this. And you'll get this gorgeous imprint. How beautiful that is. And what I'm going to do is use a mica powder over this to really bring out the color here, or to really bring out the roses. So I have silver mica powder, and I'm just putting it on my finger. And then I'm going to go right over it. And you could do this with any color clay that you have. I just had a bunch of black and red scrap. So I decided to use that because what goes better with roses than red and black? And I really want this silver to kind of pop through. So I'm going to keep going over it until I get that beautiful metal look. And look how beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. My next step is to get a black. And I'm going to use a fresh pack here. And then I'm going to roll this out. And I'm going to put this on. Now this is rolled out to my thickest setting on my pasta machine. And this one I'm going to do on my middle section on my pasta machine. Before I run it through my pasta machine, I always like to roll my clay out, flatten it a bit, and it makes it easier to go through the machine. Okay, so I have that rolled out from my middle section. I'm just going to clean this up. I'm going to put this right on top. I love using my scrap clays up and be able to create some really neat pieces. Okay, I'm going to get saran wrap. And then I'm just going to press down just slightly, just to make sure that it's on that black clay. And then I'm going to take it and flip it. And how do I want? Let me see. I'm going to do 2 of these. I'm going to get my pure red paint. And make sure I get that really good in there, because I really want that red to show up. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to rinse this out, let that dry, and then I'm going to go over to the next side. And so it dries faster. I am going to use my blow dryer on the pool setting. Okay, now I'm going to match this up the best that I can. Kind of line that up a little bit. Let me see. About right there. Alrighty. And now I'm going to rinse it out again and let this completely dry before we move on to the next step. All right, my piece is completely dried. So now we're going to flip this over. And now we're going to start cutting out our pieces. So I have these beautiful triangles. Look how pretty that looks. So nice. All right, so now I have a whole bunch left over, so I am going to do a different shape here. But this is our main piece. All right, so we're going to try this one here. And two of these. These cutters are so sharp, they cut right through my saran wrap. I love these cutters. All these cutters work so beautifully. Look how gorgeous that looks. How beautiful is that? Just absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to set that off to the side while I clean these ones up. And to clean them up, because they do cut so sharp, you just have to smooth the edges just to get that little extra loose clay off. That's it. So there's not much cleaning to do to these. So I will bake them right on here. Since I have so much of this clay left over, and I don't have another project in mind, I'm going to make some beads with these, with the leftover, and I will add them to my piece. So I'm going to make 2 necklaces and earrings in this set to show you 2 different designs using the same method. So I'm going to put these in my oven, 275 for a ½ hour. And while that is in the oven, we'll start working on our beads. So start putting all your pieces together. Just kind of push them together like this. It does not have to be perfect. We just want to be able to make round beads, but we want them to be the same size. I'll just add a little bit to that. And you'll see if I'm a little off, I'm just adding a little bit to that piece. So let's see what we got here so far. And like I said, I'm not overly worried about having the mica powder stay on. My big concern is just making sure it's the same size. And that's about the size of that. Okay, so that should be plenty of beads. So now we're just going to take them, roll them. My whole thing moved on me. You can see how it's split there. So we want to make sure that that split is not going to happen. So just kind of reform it. And then roll it in your hand. And make it into a round bead. I want to really try to use up as much of this clay as I can, because I really have just so much scrap that it's kind of overwhelming at this point. Okay, so all my beads are now done. So the next step is I want to add a little bit of silver to these to kind of go with the front of my piece. So what I am going to do is take my finger and dab it on my silicone mat here and just get little bits of mica powder on my mat. Then I'm going to take my bead and start kind of rolling it around just to get a little bit of that silver on there. You see? Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. I just want a little tiny bit of silver to show up. And this is a neat way to get silver or mica powder on your pieces without it being too much. Sometimes we just add too much and we don't need that much. So you see, just by rolling it through, I just have a tiny bit on there. So now each one of my beads have the red, the black, and a little bit of silver. Now I'm going to take out my needles here and very easily go right in the middle, push down, spin, and there's your bead. And then I'll put it on my tray, and this way I don't get no shiny marks on when I bake it. These pins are wonderful because I could put 2 on one if I want. So I'll show you. So there's 2 beads. They're fantastic. And then I'm going to put these in the oven. These are really thick. So I'm going to bake these, I say, for about 45 minutes to an hour total. I have to kind of see how thick they really are. Because the Primo clay, it's a ½ hour for every 1/4 inch thick. And these are really thick. So I'm thinking about it hours, probably how long I'll have to bake these beads for. Look how beautiful that bead is. Has the red, the silver, and the black really popping through on that one. I like that one a lot. And I'll put 2 on this one. Okay. So now I will put those in the oven. When everything is baked and ready to go, we will return. All right, guys, my pieces are out of the oven. Look how beautiful this looks. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the backs, just beautiful. You can see the roses. How beautiful does that look? So our next step is I want to put resin on these because I think that's really going to help pop these pieces. So let me put them on here. Everything is nice and smooth. I don't have to sand these pieces, which I'm super happy about. And this resin is really going to make the colors come to life. So all you have to do is put your UV resin on and then get your little pointer to hold it, and then another brush. This is just a dental tool for braces. And then you just spread it right over to the edge. Not only will it bring the color out, but it is also going to protect your mica powder on top. So next, we're going to get our lighter. Make sure no bubbles are in there. Get everything out. And now put this under my light. And we'll get our big one started. I love this fan design. It's so beautiful. You could do so many things with this one. And I'm not going to put resin on the back or the sides of this, but I am going to use my glaze. Go right to my edge. And I love this J. Diction resin because it doesn't spill over the edge very easily like some of the other ones. This one kind of stays wherever you put it, which I absolutely love. Stays right to the edges. Sometimes you'll get those resins that pull and they want to go right to the middle. This one kind of just goes wherever you tell it to go, it stays. And I'm going to get my wipey, wipe my piece off here. Get my bubbles. And it's funny because you don't even see the bubbles until you put the lighter over, and then you can see some popping going on. Look how beautiful. You can really see the red and black now in those just by putting that resin on. How gorgeous is that? I love that. I know certain people don't like putting resin on their pieces. I love it because I really think it brings all your pieces out. This is an extra one that I did because I wasn't sure if I really liked it. The pattern on it. It just wasn't as pretty as the other ones because I kind of smeared the mica powder, but I'm going to resin it anyway because I may use it for a future project. My next step is to glaze all my backs here. So I have my Sculpey Gloss Glaze. And to do that, all I'm going to do is take my paintbrush and brush the sides and the back. And you do not need a thick coat of this. A thin coat will be just fine. So I'm going to finish all these up. I'm going to take the other ones out from my light. I'll do the same thing with those. And then after everything is completely dry, we'll come back and assemble our pieces. All right, so all my pieces are glazed. They have the resin on them, and now we're ready to start the next step. So I ended up doing my beads as well. So I kept them on here, and then I just took the brush and then set them on here to dry. So to get the beads off, just hold the needle with a pair of pliers and then pull your bead off. That's simple. Now, I'm not going to use all of these. I have a few that I'm going to keep off to the side for another project. I might do bracelets or something like that, but these are all that I'm going to be using. And I kind of went ahead and started making some of them. So I'm going to show you the next step, and that is to take your eye pin, and you're going to put in the hole, push through. Then you'll take your pliers, turn it off to the side, trim off any extra that you don't need. Get your round nose pliers, and now you're going to bend the opposite direction. And then you just turn it, and then you have a loop for your bead. I'll show you one more time. Put the pin in. Bend it over. Trim off the extra. And then start turning it to make your loop. So, but look how beautiful these beads came out. I love the little speckled red. This one I really love. Look at all that red in there with the silver and the black. Just gorgeous. I love this one. So I have everything kind of lined up how I want to go about this. So these are going to be the earrings. I want to find 2 beads that are similar in shape. Some of them are a little bit different in shape because they're not perfectly round. I didn't use any tools. I just used my hand. Here, these 2 are very similar in shape. So we'll use those for the earrings. And then we will put our beads in between. Oh, I need one more bead. I knew there was a reason I had this one out. Let's see. Doesn't really matter. So let me do this really quick. There we go. So that's how our necklace is going to go. Our next step is to do all our drilling. I like to bring my mat down to catch all my dirt from this. And we're going to drill on the corners. So I'm going to flip them upside down, and then I'm going to go right to the edge and drill right through. And you don't have to go to the back. You can put it here and go right through the resin. It doesn't really matter how you do it. I just find that it's easier to go through the back because then you can line them up easier. You can see better to make sure that it's straight. Yes. Check your front, make sure that those are completely cleaned out. All right, let me dump that. We'll get our top halves here. I'm gonna go right in the middle for the earrings. Go straight down. There we go. Okay. Put that off to the side. Now I like to line all my stuff up. This way, when I'm putting everything together, I don't miss something. Because sometimes I'll put the wrong piece in the wrong area or miss a piece. I don't know if these are going to be big enough, but let me try one and see if this jump ring will be large enough. So I'm just going to open up my jump ring quick. And I just want to see if this will be large enough. I want to make sure there's enough movement in my necklace here. Yes, perfect. Okay. I don't like when jump rings are too big, but you can't have them too small either. Otherwise your piece won't move properly. So now it's just a matter of starting to put everything together. So I will put this piece on and then connect that. I really love the back of these. It's really cool looking. Oops. And make sure that when you're putting them on, you're facing them in the right direction. Because that's another thing that I have put them on backwards a couple times without paying attention. How cool that looks so far. Oh, I'm so excited about this. This is gonna be a really nice necklace. I'm gonna start on the other side. Oh, turn. Make sure all this is right. Sometimes your beads will make your stuff want to turn. So to fix that, I'm going to take a hold of this and a hold of this one, and I'm going to turn this. And that's going to help my necklace want to lay straight. So it's just a matter of turning your piece properly with the eye pin. Look how nice that is. That's really cool. And then the back. So what I love about this is you could really wear this either direction. So that's really fun. I like that a lot. Very, very nice. Okay, let's get our earrings put together quick. And then we'll put the chain on. And that's going to be super easy. Let's put it on this way. And I was only going to do this particular necklace for this tutorial, but since I had that extra clay, I'm just going to do a little bonus one and show you what I'm going to do with my fan cutters. Let me get my fish hooks. And I just got to see how, okay, that one lays perfect. And that one lays perfect. So we're just going to open up the bottom of the fish hook. Make sure it's facing the right direction. Put it on and close it. And these earrings can also be worn this way as well, which is really, really nice. I almost wish I would have finished off the sides. I might end up doing that because I think that'll look so pretty. And you know what? I am going to do that really quick. So before I put my chain on, I'm going to pause the video, but what I'm going to do is just go around and finish off all my edges because I really like when my edges are completed with the chrome markers. I just think they look so pretty when I do that. And luckily, I can still do it while all the pieces are on. It just really kind of, to me, finishes the piece off and just makes it look more professional. But if you don't feel the same, you don't have to do this step. This is just something that I really like to do. So look how beautiful that earring is. So I think finishing them off is just something that is going to be by your preference. All right, all my pieces are now done. So our next step is to put the chain on. I really like this, guys. This is so pretty. Look how beautiful that looks. So, so pretty. I really do like that. All right, so this is going to be a longer chain. I want it to just be a wraparound where I don't have to put a link on. So I like to measure my chain by wrapping around my neck and seeing where I want my piece to end. So by taking this chain, wrapping around my neck, I will stop it to where I want this area to lay on my chest. So that's basically how I do that. So this is really simple. For these, you just take the bottom here, open it up, and then add your chain on, and then reclose it. Very, very simple. Do the same thing on the other side. And there is our necklace. I absolutely adore this one. And I love doing the double-sided stuff. I mean, how nice does that look? Even on that side. Beautiful. And right here in the center is that gorgeous rose. I lucked out on that one because I was not planning on that. And then the backs, beautiful. All right, so that is one necklace. And I am going to show you quickly how I'm going to do the next one. And this is going to be really cool. Now, I just did the sides. I mean, look how beautiful the sides look now. Absolutely gorgeous. And look at the back. Beautiful. So for these, my pieces are going to lay like this. And I am going to hang little gems right in the middle. And I'm going to show you how I did that. And unfortunately, I don't have a bigger one, so I am going to stick with a smaller one, and I'll probably change it to a larger one once I purchase one. So take your craft wire. This is a very, very thin craft wire. It's what, 0.3 millimeters. 30 gauge is what that is. And I will put this wire right in the bead. I pull up on it. Now I'm going to fair warn you, I am not into wire work, but I kind of figured out how to do some things. So I like to play around. But you see how I just kind of added that in there? Now we got to figure out how do we close that. So what I do is I'm going to take my wire here and then I just turn. And I spin it till I get a nice tight, spin on that. So see how that wire just spun right into there like that? Now I'll take my round nose pliers. I go around and now I'm going to spin it around that way and start wrapping it. And to help me with that, I take another pair of wires, or I take another pair of pliers, and that's going to help me pull it tighter. And I cut off the extra. And then I just kind of push all that wire together. Make sure nothing is sharp on there. And there. That's all I do. So now I'm going to bring out my little mat again. Actually, so to do so you can see now I did the middle here like I did the other ones. Now I am using one of these for the top. So now I need to know how far down this is going to go for me to know where I need to drill my hole. So I just like to kind of open it up and get an idea of where it's going to be. Okay, right about there. And then I'll take this and go up, and I'm going to go up a little bit higher than I think, because I don't mind if it's a little off, but I don't want it too short. Make sure I'm clearing the front and the back. And I will put that on and squeeze that shut. Look how beautiful. So I want to make sure that this is closed all the way. So I'm going to squeeze it. Make sure it cannot open on me. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so our next step is to get our jump ring here. I'm going to open this up. Put it through. Put our bead on. Close. And there is our pendant. Look how gorgeous that is. How pretty is that? Beautiful. Okay. So to put the earrings together, I did one already. You open up your jump ring, put the top on, take your bottom of your fish hook, carefully turn it, do it slowly so you don't break it. Make sure it's completely closed. Put it on your earring. Close that. And then you have your earring part on. Now the trick to this is to make sure that the part that goes in your ear is always facing the back of the earring. So if you want this to be the front, you would do it the opposite way. Get one more. Then take your second jump ring, open that up, put it on the bottom. Come on, put your bead on, and then close that one. And there's your earring. Look how beautiful those are. I absolutely love these ones. They are so nice. And I love that you could do them back, front and back. Absolutely gorgeous. So to finish this completely off, we're going to put our chain. And I did another long chain because I want this to go right over my head. I cut my chain. Now I have a tiny jump ring. Open that up. Put your link in. Put your second link in. Now remember, we're not putting a clasp on this because this is going to go over the head. So this is going to be easy. Just connect the chains together. And then close it. And there is your second necklace. I love this. This is so pretty. So I really hope you enjoyed creating both of these pieces with me. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.